Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we go. I'm trying to get live right here. There we go. Good morning. It's Christian with Voyager Nation Super Trucker Podcast, bringing owner operator information to you on a daily, every day, 9 a.m. Make sure you stay tuned, share, like, subscribe. We're going to go. Here are the questions that we will be answering on today's show. So sit back and listen up. All right, we're going to be covering how did Voyager go from one truck to a fleet of 65? What is the biggest mistake first-time owner operators make in the very first year? How does Voyager's 75-25 split actually work, and why is it better? So we're going to cover all of those questions and more. What is the most important part? What is the most important mindset shift from being a company driver to becoming an owner operator to be successful? How do you know when to buy your second truck? That's always a big question. How do you decide whether to lease to a carrier or to start your own authority? What's Voyager's biggest advantage compared to other carriers that are out there? What is the daily habits that make an owner operator successful? That is a big one. Stay tuned and find out. And in addition, is how should an owner operator handle fuel strategy right now in this market, or actually in any market, and how important it is to your bottom line? And how important is credit? A lot of guys are actually asking that. How important is credit when getting started as an owner operator? So that is everything we're going to be covering on today's show. We welcome questions. Please hit us up. Put them up in the comments. They'll get answered either on the show, or we always will present them the very next day. That's what we do, is we gather information across our multi-platform social media platforms and bring you the answers live and direct every day, Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. All right. So let's get started on the first one. How did Voyager grow from one truck to a fleet of 65? So 65 owner operators, that is. Again, we are 100% owner operator, no company trucks to compete with. All right, pretty much it sounds simple, a lot of hard work behind it, but consistent recruiting based on honesty. So what is that word honesty? It's going to be transparency. When we talk about original raycons, always to the owner operator. 100% of the fuel passed along to the owner operator on the savings. And in addition to that, always discussing the goals of how realistic expectations are. And that is the bottom line for the honesty part, right? That is all factual. You can actually touch that. It's a tangible. And that is one of the major pillars that allowed us to get to where we are today. All right, treating owner operators as partners and not employees. That has everything to do with actually the dispatch. Pardon me, the actual dispatch and relationship with the owner operator, right? Keeping the owner operator, uh, you know, uh, alert and in the know of what the market is trending. So when we're making these decisions and what loads to book and where to go and all of that, those are just two businesses coming together, making those decisions, and everybody is accountable for an outcome. So there, that is one of the most important part about treating people like partners. All right. Transparent pay and settlement model. So we talked a little bit about the transparent pay because we give the original Raycon. That is so monumental to the success. Not a lot of guys doing that's out there. But second to that is we do drop weekly settlements on individuals. So every Tuesday is settlement day. So guys are getting paid every single week, and it allows for that weekend load to hit that payroll period. That has been a monumental piece of the puzzle, especially because it gets the cash flow going to your company. All right, so dispatch that actually understands the spot market, guys. Like uh, this is another major key, because this is not your typical load planning dispatching. This takes an individual who can think outside the box. This takes the individual who can actually understand forward thinking and how to negotiate not only just rates, but what these brokers are actually trying to give you out there. Meaning, let's say let's say you got brokers out there who are actually, giving you a call, offering you loads on a daily basis. You actually think that you're developing a relationship with them and you think you're winning. And what they're actually looking is to get you complacent and complacent to them offering you work in the early morning so that you can cover your trucks. And now you think you did your job, but you covered the truck, but did you cover it strategically and making sure that that your guy is making money? So the theory behind it is the owner operator is the main priority customer. We have several customers, but they are number one. And those dispatchers know how to hunt. They know how to hit. They know how to put money on the truck. They want to get to this relationship where you're actually trusting them. And then that's where it becomes a partnership. So that partnership has to be that you're trusting that dispatcher to move your truck, and the outcome, and then the money is just going to come. All right. So those are the main important ones. So building a culture that drivers want to stay in. So look, part of the honesty and everything. Well, why do guys want to stay? It's not just the perks. It's not just the advantages that we offer between the trailers, between the fuel savings, between top of the line dispatchers. That's not everything. Another part is no one controls the market. It's how you behave in the market. It's how you show up. It's that. So we are not here pretending to control the market, pretending we can change the market. It's how we show up and what can we do in this market in order to make sure that your truck is seeing the highest revenue possible, and that's what that's about. All right, so we move on. So what is the biggest mistake first-time owner operators make in their first year? Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell icon. If you are subscribed, it will give you notification that we are dropping videos, and it'll make you alert. Everybody who's on that YouTube, please smash that like button. It will help the algorithm actually push the content in front of the right people. So, all right. So what is the biggest mistake first-time owner operators are making? Buying the wrong truck. And what happens is when you're buying this wrong truck, we mean by the miles. We're meaning, what we call a money maker. Somebody bought that money maker, 800,000, 700,000 miles. It's a fixer upper, and you're going to get it going as you make money. The problem with that is that it's going to cost you way too much money. And for those guys who are first time owner operators, remember, every week that you're down, you're leaving 7,000, on the table. And so you're hemorrhaging money and you're losing it while you're trying to fix this truck. So there's no cash flow coming in. And now you're down for a couple weeks in order to make repairs. So guys, really think about what truck you're going to be buying, understanding your purchasing power. And sometimes it takes that discipline to actually save up a little bit more to get yourself into a better truck, because it will make the difference at the bottom line. That is your tool. That is your weapon to survive. That is how you make money. You need to make sure that you have a workhorse. All right. Number two is running without a maintenance reserve. So a lot of guys are going to roll the dice on this, right? They're going to say, nah, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. But you do have to start getting that maintenance reserve. So as you're thinking about creating this first time owner operator business, there's going to be a fixed cost. There's going to be a fixed cost of insurance, right? Because you got to have that. They say so. So you got to. You have to have that truck, right? You might have a payment on that. That's going to be a fixed cost as well. Fuel is going to be coming out. You don't know exactly how much, but you definitely know that bill is coming. And what you should incorporate in these fixed costs, just like plates and IFTAs and all the permits and everything, is actually a maintenance reserve. You should definitely be putting away for that. We encourage our guys to. As a matter of fact, that's why we do have a feature where guys jump on this voluntary maintenance reserve, and they just start stacking away 1 to 2, 3%, depending how aggressive they want to go, and it just goes building that reserve. Guys, it is monumental to your success, so you have to have that discipline to do that. All right. Chasing easy lanes instead of profit. That is another big boy. A lot of guys jump into buying their very first truck to work less. They actually think that you have a lot more freedom, but this is just like any other business where your choices, you do have the freedom, I'm not gonna lie, but your choices come at a price. And then that's what's going to be the difficult part. A lot of guys didn't calculate for that because of the level of responsibility that has increased. So imagine this. Now you got, like we talked about, that insurance, the maintenance reserve, um, the permits, you got to probably pay for parking. You got to do the preventive maintenance on your truck. So either A, you're doing it yourself, or you're finding someone to get it done. Either way, you're managing that. So a lot of these responsibilities that have come up that you didn't have before cost money, and now you're accountable for that. And so what happens is you try to chase these lanes, and all of a sudden these easy lanes that everybody is doing, that market is saturated, cause and effect. The rates aren't as best, and now you're actually running the area you like to run, but are you making enough money in order to hit all your new responsibilities? All right, guys. So that is another major one. And then believing gossip over data. That is, at the end of the day, people, we are in the people business, and a lot of social media is out there. A lot of complaints out there. A lot of people use this vessel to vent, to get shit off their chest, and to just complain and bitch. So the problem is when you start to believe it, right? You hear it enough and you start to believe it. Rates suck, this, that, the other. So if your focal point is that, it's not going to go as well. So what you have to do is understand the facts, and that comes with working with your dispatcher, understanding what the market is. So you really got to hone in, right? So there is absolutely no value in booking the heaviest load for the cheapest rate. Like, who the fuck is doing that? Absolutely nobody. So and if they are, they should be terminated, like on the spot. So you have to pay attention to who you surround yourself with and who you're actually going to take advice from, because you don't want to get caught up in that social media whirlwind and actually lose sight to what you came for. All right. So next question. How does Voyager's 75-25 split actually work, and why is it better? All right. All right. So first off, 75% to the owner operator, 25% to Voyager. All right. Makes it nice, easy, because everything is part of the package deal. There is no additional charges. Your settlement sheet is going to be very simple to read. It's not those convoluted 3 pages of deductions and so forth. It's very easy to read and understand, so you can focus on the most important part, which is being successful. All right. So you got no trailer rental fees. All right. So a lot of places out there may pay you a little bit more on the percentage, but you have to pay attention that now you have a trailer rental fee. And are you paying maintenance on that? Are you responsible for that maintenance? So the winning package is that you pay a $50 flat trailer maintenance fee here, and that covers brakes, tires, inspections. We actually do DOT inspections every 90 days to ensure that you have the top of the line trailer out there, so you're not getting rejected, you're not getting put out of service. There is no downtime because of that. You're not losing opportunity. Just as an example, we got an actual owner operator coming in tomorrow, dropping off that trailer, because she's going to be dropping off her trailer because it needs a little bit of maintenance, but there's another one ready for her to turn and burn, so that there is no downtime because of something like that. So that is one of the most important things that you need out there, is quality equipment. All right. Transparent settlements and no hidden deductions. So here you go. Even in this, guys, when we're actually recruiting individuals, we actually ask them to come in. Open door policy. Stop by anytime between 9 and 4. Plenty of parking in the back if you bring your truck and trailer. And what we actually do is oops, sorry about that. What we actually do there is focus on showing them the settlements so they can see what they're actually getting paid. So a lot of the guys are going to see what other guys are making based on how they're running, because everybody runs a little bit different. And that's part of the transparency. It would be a lie to say that here's the average, you'll be making this, because we don't know who you are just yet, right? We don't know if you're a 600-mile day kind of guy, 7. Can you show up on time? Everybody comes with different habits. Everybody comes with different abilities and different needs. So it's really tailored to the owner operator and how they're going to be running. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. It will help the algorithm get this content in front of the right people, especially my first time owner operators who are thinking about buying a truck but got tons of questions and need answers. So Also, 863-342-5171. All right. Okay, so not only is it the transparency, that there's no hidden fees, you know exactly what your deductions are on a weekly basis, $50 for the maintenance fee and whatever you're spending in fuel. That is it. Nice and easy. So you know every quarter if there's going to come out. So that's pretty simple, guys. All right. So again, we do have plates that a lot of guys do jump onto that. There is a cost to that if you needed that, but it's not for everybody. Some guys come with their own plates. All right. So another thing you want to do is, why this split works out in your favor is because you're actually leveraging the fuel. We actually give two different fuel cards so guys can max out on that savings, or $500 a week, no problem. That's a truck payment right there. If you think about it, if you add it up, trailers, and you're running under that authority. So that is a monumental program for your success. Remember, if you're a first-time owner operator, that is one of the biggest things that you should be doing, is actually analyzing what carrier to go on to, and pick the best one, which I'm sure is Voyager. So give us a call, 863-342-5171. All right. Okay, so what is the most important mindset shift from being a company driver to being an owner? This one actually sounds easy because I don't know, man. A lot of people, I think, underestimate this and how much has to change. There's a couple things. I think a couple people think that once you buy the truck, that's it. You kind of made it, and I think you hit a major stepping stone for real. My hat does go off to you for that. But the party just started, right? You're just getting started. You are just about to do your grand opening and get up under a load and start your business running. So, you have to consider that you are now the CEO of your company and not the driver. So and you're actually the driver. So you're playing those two roles. So you're actually managing this dual responsibility, and you have to make sure that you have the right hat on when you're making the decisions. All right. So remember, you're going to be responsible for a lot of stuff that you were not as a company driver. The fuel is on you now, right? Breakdowns are going to be on you. Preventive maintenance is going to be on you. Insurance is going to be on you, right? So all of these things that now fall under you are going to be part of your major decision making. All right. So you have to think about it. Like, every mile you do now costs you money. Not just that, like, every day off is going to cost you money. And not just because you're having a great time, like spending it with the family day off, like everybody automatically goes to that. Not necessarily. What about the days off in the middle of the week that perhaps you're sitting because you're refusing loads because they're not quite what you think it should be, right? So because it's not what you quite think it should be, or let's say a lot of guys, always suffer with that Monday. The guys leaving Florida, especially, Monday, and let's wait till Tuesday, maybe the rates will get better. Well, you're kind of lying to yourself. Well, not you are lying to yourself that the rates will get better. And even if it did, it's actually not, because you have a day and a half less to work with in the week. So that is costing you money as a business. So those are the things, you don't want to get stuck sitting a day. It costs you money, right? Maybe as a company guy, you were making it because you were either paid by the hour, or, or even if you just lost that day there, you lost a little bit of money, but you weren't responsible for the truck payment, the insurance, the fuel while you were idling. All of these things that are new to you are going to be your major responsibility. All right. And like we said, like, the maintenance and fuel management is not just something that you are now responsible for, guys. It is a survival tool. Preventive maintenance will actually help you out tremendously. You have to pay attention to that. That is a tool that will help you be successful. And fuel management, I mean, that is one of the biggest expenses that your company is going to incur, if not the biggest, right up there with insurance. Um, Again, if you're running your own authority, or if you're leasing on with Voyager, now you don't have to worry about the insurance. So you minimize your responsibilities and shift that liability to a carrier like us, right? But again, that fuel, right? I'm not saying that you should govern your truck, but I'm saying you should know what that sweet spot is, right? Because somebody getting 4 miles to the gallon is very different than getting 6.5 to 9 to 9, right? That is a major piece of it. Maybe as a company driver, you prefer that long nose Pete, awesome looking truck, beautiful truck. But what does it cost you to run it? So these are things that you have to consider. Even going back to question number one, yeah, it looks very good, but know that it comes at a price to look that good, right? So again, now that it's your bill, you got to be paying attention to that. All right. So we move on here. Home time is a business decision. Absolutely. A lot of guys do get into their own truck so they can have a little bit of freedom with that time. But again, it comes down to, how much does that cost you? As a business owner, it will come at a price, and the market is not forgiving to that. The market, and it's not specific to you. It even applies to me, right? Um, you know, time off, the market doesn't care. It doesn't pay higher rates because somebody's going to go on vacation, or it doesn't pay higher rates because somebody came out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. All the brokers, no one gives a shit. So the reality is, just know your sweet spot. You have to understand that comes in a price. And so what people can afford on the decision making is going to vary from one guy to the next. So it's not a cookie cutter for everybody. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different wants. That is why we tailor our dispatching customized to the guy who's in front of us, or the gal. So that owner operator is getting that tailored dispatch that is effective, efficient, and hits their needs. 863-342-5171. Guys, give us a call to learn more about what we could do for you. And guys that are watching, smash that like button. It helps this algorithm get this content in front of individuals who need to know. We definitely would appreciate that. All right. So guys, at the end of the day, once you are that owner operator, it's like as barbaric as, like, you eat, you're going to eat what you hunt. All right. So the effort that you're putting in is going to matter. But another big thing that matters is actually going to be who you are aligning yourself with, right? You need, if you're going to give that max force effort and you can hit, and you're that guy that could get it done, you need to match the carrier that can match your energy and get it done as well. So that's where we come in, right? The dispatchers are here ready to rock and roll, ready to put that money on your truck and develop that relationship so you start to win. 863-342-5171. Give us a call, and we'd love the opportunity to partner up and make something happen. All right. All right. So here we go, guys. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Not only that, put up in the comments any kind of questions that you need answers to. We're going to be more than glad to answer them on the show. And if not on here, we can't get to it right away, we're definitely going to get you answers by 9 a.m. the next day. So guys, put the questions up in the comments. All right. The next question, I do see this bad boy come up a lot. How do you know when to buy a second truck? Obviously, we always all want to level up. That is why we're buying the truck in the first place. And no one likes to stay stagnant. So at some point, this does cross every owner operator's mind, is how can I level up and have a truck working for me? So the first one would be, the first truck is debt-free, producing consistent profit. So producing consistent profit is going to be right because you're running it. But I would say, because you're about to make this investment, one of the things that you should consider, as let's say that truck is paid off, then that is that perfect opportunity. That is that one less cost overhead that you have to worry about. I mean, you still got the maintenance. Obviously, you have everything there, but now you can reallocate those funds into let's say the salary of that owner operator, and you're preparing for him to actually be successful. So that is one of the things, a strong cash reserve, because things do happen and trucks do break down. And where that cash reserve is not just to fix the truck, you have to keep the driver. One of the hardest part about this formula here, and guys, put it up in the comments, who agrees, disagrees, is finding the driver. Now, I am saying there are people who do get lucky and get those guys that know exactly what time it is and find that quality driver. As a matter of fact, we do welcome fleet owners, so we definitely do that. We actually had a couple, had one last week in orientation. And it was over before it started, because what happens is they actually just met, and then that's this is what happens. They just met. Everybody made some promises to each other, and it was over before they even started. And unfortunately, guys, in this industry, that's very, very typical. And this is part of the honesty, right? I could tell you that it's easy. I could tell you go ahead and do it, and I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just telling you that you're actually depending on somebody you haven't met yet to be successful. So how much money that truck will make is dependent on this person that is going to respond to your ad and you're going to hire. So that is their responsibility, right? So you have to know that it's a little difficult, but the biggest thing is finding that driver. And I got Melvin in the comments. Find driver first. Absolutely. That is the biggest thing, guys. I do not recommend you do business with family, neighbors. In my time doing this, it's never worked out. I've known people that have spent, 16 Christmases together, and now that automatically went to shit, and no longer they're doing that. So, guys, you don't want to be doing that either. It makes it that much more difficult to make your business decisions. All right, because a lot of people don't have that emotional intelligence like you do, and it's probably not going to end well. So, if you value the relationship, don't do it. All right. Understanding how to manage other drivers, like, and I'm not just saying, here we go. This is what you have to consider. Now you're going to have a breakdown, right? So you're going to have to learn how to manage people. So if this driver starts to panic, starts to think about, how is this driver dealing with the breakdown? Are they amplifying your situation and making it a lot more difficult, or are they actually helping? Because here's what happens. Number one, you got to understand that nobody out there is actually going to care more about your business than you do. And if you do find that rare bird, hold on to that bad boy, because it does not come around often. But here we go. So if they're not, that driver has a driver mindset. They're going to want to get out of that situation as quick as possible. They want you to fix everything. So you have to be able to stay calm and manage the people and manage the situation. While if you're actually driving a truck as well, you have to manage your own shit as well. So there's that balance. Calm patience is going to be a major part of that equation. Because you may have a driver who knows nothing about trucks. You may be able to fix that airline on the side of the road, but your driver can't. And you're hitting this level of frustration that this thing that would have cost you very minimal money is going to cost you an arm and a leg, because that driver does not have the capacity to do it on their own. So you have to know all these things. Again, cash reserve is what's going to save you on that. But consider all of this stuff. Mike actually mentioned family is family, business is business. Keep it this way. Yeah, for sure. Hands down. Confidence in finding consistent freight. Yeah. You got to know where you're putting this truck. You have to know, you have to have that level of comfort, especially like leasing. For example, here, anybody want to put on a second truck? They've already known here that we're consistent. We can move a truck. There's absolutely no issues with moving that truck. The only issue is, possibly, is your driver going to be making the decision making, or are you? So one of the things that we want to decide up front, right? We talked about this yesterday a little bit. It's going to be that this driver should be forced dispatch. That is you typically the only way that this relationship actually works out. And the only reason I'm saying that is, here comes the honesty. If you allow that driver to make the decisions, the person making the decisions does not have the responsibilities of the owner. So their decision making comes from a different perspective, right? They're looking at the convenience of home time. They're looking at the convenience of what areas maybe they like to cover. They're not really thinking about, I got to pay the truck. No, we got insurance on this bad boy. I got a driver to pay. There's got to be enough money left for the reserves. They're not calculating any of that. And so, for example, there are the things that you can control. Let's respect the home time. Give them that. You can even respect respect possibly not just the home time, but maybe certain work areas if it's reasonable, right? Some guys might say I don't do that upstate New York. Some guys may say I don't do the Oregon or something like that. As long as it doesn't get out of control, you should be fine. And again, um, you know, who is the point of contact from the company? Are they running the loads by you? Are they running, just giving the loads to the driver? You want to iron all of that out before you actually even take the first load with the guy. All right. So again, you're ready to manage people, not just wheels, guys. This is a people business, and a lot of people underestimate that. Just because you have been a very good, you were an excellent company driver, you're a good owner operator, does not mean that everybody is you. You will be surprised how some people don't match your energy, don't match your effort, don't match your skill set, and then you just expect that everybody is going to do that. Okay. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm get this content in front of the right people. And if you are subscribed, smash that bell icon. It will notify you when we drop gems just like this on a daily basis, actually Monday to Friday after 5 o'clock. All right, so moving on to the next one. Let me get some caffeine up in here first. How do you decide whether to lease to a carrier or run under your own authority? A lot of guys are always contemplating this. I'm not surprised that it's a reoccurring question. The number uno, is going to be cost of insurance. I think this is the most underestimated cost. People don't really see how much this is going to cost them. And remember, you have, as a first-time owner operator, you're going to have a lot coming at you, and one of the biggest things that's going to be coming at you is going to be your truck payment. Right now, you got the insurance. Are you actually going to be running under your own plates or not? Did that deplete your savings? So you just did some down payment on your truck. Now you got payment coming up on that. Now you got fuel. You got to be ready for that. And if you're a new owner operator to it, a lot of it is prepaying that fuel. So all of these expenses that are coming along to you, do you know how to dispatch? Have you dispatched before? Are you set yourself some time to get to learn how to do that? How many brokers are willing to accept you as a new entrant into the game? What's the factoring look like? When are these customers paying? So all of these moving pieces that are there not only affect you, but even if you consider them, like this cost of insurance, while all of this is going on, you still got that $2,500 monthly payment coming, or $2,000 for that insurance. So it adds up quick, guys. There is a strategic way to get it done. We're not saying don't do it. I'm just saying consider everything. All right. Now, dispatch and back office workload. So here's some of the stuff like that a lot of guys don't see. A lot of guys get hyped up. I've even seen it where sometimes you're buying that truck, right? And not the dealer too. They link you up with like a possible insurance person to get you insurance. And then they're actually quoting you for the liability, perhaps in the cargo. And then all of a sudden, hey, we can fill out this form for you and get your own authority, do it for yourself. And you kind of get this hyped up and they get you going. But again, remember, you're opening a full-blown trucking company. So there is a lot to learn. So why not learn it in a strategic way, right? That is where the benefit comes from linking up to Voyager Nation. You get the opportunity to actually. Hold on a second. I'm gonna transfer that call. Oh, my bad. Here we go. So you actually get this opportunity to learn step by step what is going to be. Was going to be important to you, what you can and cannot do as of yet. So, for example, have you ever done a carrier packet, right? Are you already in the know on how to making sure you're running credit every single time you book the load, reading those predatory rate cons, because there may be deductions on there that you didn't think that were going to happen, and now they are, and now all of a sudden you're getting an underpayment and you don't understand why you're getting that underpayment. So all of that back office work is so monumental, ensuring that you actually get that you're actually getting your detention time, the follow-up behind that. It's not as easy as you sat there, They know you sat there. Everybody knows you sat there. It's on the BOL, but nobody is paying you. You have to hunt. You have to fight. You have to go get that detention time. Like unless you fight for it, you're probably not going to get it. So all of that stuff that happens behind the back office, guys, that's what we do best, is support our owner operators with that. 863-342-5171. Find out more about how we can help you. All right. Carrier relationship and broker trust. That is a big one as well. You want to leverage those relationships that already exist. I mean, we've been doing this for a very, very long time. And in that, you're getting your dedicated reps. They know you already, and they know exactly our level of service, the quality of trailers that arrive to their customers, the trucks, the professionalism of the owner operators. They're actually going to be offering you they're going to be offering us loads before it even hits the market. And the reason that happens is, just think about it, the basics, right? It's in the benefit of that broker. So if there's a broker out there that has to cover, I don't know, let's just say 100 loads, right? That's a lot of phone calls. You post 100 loads. But what if he's got people in his pocket that you can unload 10 of them right away to one guy because you have a connection? Hey, I know you do this lane a lot. Here's 10. Boom. Now he's only got 90, and he's got 4 of those customers. Boom. Now you got 40 loads off of you with 4 phone calls. So those are the relationships that are happening. That is what you have to be supportive with, right? So, or seeking rather. All right. Cash flow and quick pay, cash flow. That is the name of the game to your business. And we do understand that. So check this out. So we do direct deposit every Tuesday. So you're obviously you're a week behind because of processing. But what happens is you're getting your cash right away. But what's happening behind the scenes? So if you were actually running your own authority, it doesn't mean that you're getting that cash right away, right? These brokers haven't just paid, right? What happens is, some of these guys don't pay 60, 90 days out, and just for those guys who don't know, what else happens is, let's say the BOL is not legible just quite, right? And they get that. Well, guess what? They're going to send you a love letter, letting you know 30 days later that it's not legible, that they can't pay this until it is legible, right? So let's say they have 60 days to pay you. They notify you that in 30 days. And then what's going to happen next is you're going to get a better copy. You're going to do this, or you're going to just, filter it up a little bit, and now it's legible. You give it back to them, they accept it. Well, guess what? The 60 days starts ticking then. So it could be a total of 90 days, that they're holding on to that, and now you got a problem. So guys, make sure you understand everything that happens behind the scenes. Link yourself up with the carrier, just like Voyager Nation, where we're here to teach. We're here to be partners with you, and we want to see you excel as well as at this game called trucking. All right. Risk compliance for safety, risk intolerance for compliance and safety. Yeah, this is another major one. Another major one is this: not a lot of guys have been through an audit. Safer scores, PSPs, and all of that. Here's what happens. Man, I would even say there's not a lot of guys who are willing to mention that they went through a deposition, are willing to mention that they went through that ugly lawsuit. And here's what happens. So a lot of guys may think you convince your dispatcher that PCing to a customer is okay, or, you buy fuel every morning, because you creeped up to the pump and it's in an off duty and you're not really notifying. So all these little tricks of the trade and all of that. And either the carrier pretends not to look, or you convince them that it's a good idea, that you guys get an idea that it's okay. All of that is cute until DOT shows up and going to smack everybody around. And everything that everybody thought it was a good idea, you are about to get lit the fuck up. So really what happens is you just be compliant from the beginning. Because again, this is the long-term game. I have seen people actually lose their businesses because of safety, right? I have seen people become unhireable, solid dudes that, that PSP is just way too much. It's a negligent hire. The insurance won't take it. MVR, clean as shit. clean MVR. But the behavior and the pattern on that PSP is so bad. His company is over. So he had to close his company, and now he's a company driver because of that. So guys, it matters. Compliance, safety does matter. We tend to always you know downplay it like it's some bullshit, but you have to pay attention to that. I've seen it time and time again. Again, we're in it for the long run. We're not looking to do damage and destroy everything that our owner operators and all the team members here are helping build. You know what I mean? It's so much work and effort, and to do that, we want to see this bad boy grow as collectively. So pay attention to that. All right. What's Voyager's biggest advantage compared to other carriers? Okay, so we are Florida home base. We understand the freight market. There is a lot of companies, a lot of people. As we hire a lot of Florida-based guys, I do see a lot that the carriers they run for won't get them to Florida. I mean, it goes as crazy as they'll fly them in here and then they'll fly them out. You have that. A lot of guys just never get the loads coming in, and then that's why they're leaving. So that is one of the biggest advantage. Dry van trailers, 53-foot, obviously food grade, top of the line, 23s, 22s, 21s. We reinvest into the business. Nobody's running with rust buckets. There's free parking available to the owner operators, truck and trailers. So for those guys who go on extended vacations and so forth, they don't have to worry about paying that extra, $150 or $200 a month. That's all under one roof, taking care of that. Dispatchers actually negotiate just like an owner operator would, where they understand the big picture, they understand cost, they understand what the financial goal is on a weekly basis, and even that they're customizing the loads where everyone's a little different. Some guys are good for 700 miles a day. Some guys just can't get past that 600 or 650 is their max. So all of these things are actually going to matter, and that is the benefit of here. It's not some cookie cutter, one size fits all. It's actually, we tailor everything to the person that's in front of us. All right. Transparency with the rates, where you get the original rate count. We are forwarding the email to you directly, so you have exactly what the customers are paying. So you get to see that. You get 100% of the fuel savings. All right. So that's there. You actually get 2 different fuel cards, and nobody's doing that. And what you're actually getting there is you get to toggle between the 2 and see which one is going to give you the greater savings. So pay attention to that. It is so important to your bottom line. All right. And again, the trailer, not only are you getting a top of the line trailer, it comes with no BS to it, right? No bullshit. It's no rental fees to it, nothing like that. It's just all maintenance is covered on it. You just have to follow the process. Make sure you're letting your dispatcher safety know, and everything will be handled. All right. So here we go. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm get this content in front of the right people. And not just that, it is plenty of good content that for those who are thinking about buying that first truck and you're looking for the haul source, that is an important piece of your puzzle. Give us a call at 863-342-5171. Or if you're that owner operator that is, you're just not quite making it where you are, please give us a call as well, 863-342-5171. All right, so we're moving on here, guys. What daily habits make an owner operator successful? The number one, underrated one would be leave your emotions at home. You have to be making business decisions. Leaving your emotions at home is easier said than done, but that is one of the biggest things. You want to track your expenses daily. And here's just kind of a small thing, man. Like I have seen where people do, let's say somebody is dropping, it wasn't at this company, it was a different company, but the guy would just take cash advances every single day, taking cash advances. So he's at the pump, cash advance this, cash advance that. So even if you're doing, $150 a day, This guy, depleting, and then he's wondering why his check looks the way that the way that it looks, because you're actually, right off the bat, $450 is just gone, and gone where? Cigarettes, food, or whatever the case may be. This is a penny business, guys. That's why I mentioned that story. This is a penny business. Everything matters. You have to be able to track where your expenses are, how you're spending money. If it's not just in that, I've seen guys never buying a brand new tire. And what happens is, when you're buying used tires all the time, the irregular wear and tear, it lasted for a couple weeks, blow out here, blow out there. I know Big Mike actually shares a story all the time where, on his trailer, he spent so much amount of money until the mechanic once told him, he's like, bro, why don't you just actually buy all new tires? Instead of like all these used tires and all different treads and all this, everything that you got going on here, you'll spend less money. And which he did, and they're proven. So guys, track your cash, track your expenses. You want to know where your money is going. All right. So sometimes by making small adjustments, you can actually save a lot of money. All right. So even check the fuel. Look at what your MPG is. Like, that is so monumental to your business. Yeah, we got Melvin. Buy one, cry. Buy once, cry. Yeah, buy once, cry once. Absolutely, absolutely. But that is so for a lot of people, that is easier said than done, because they just haven't gone through the experiences just yet. But for sure, here you go. All right, what do we got? Communicate with your dispatch clearly. You definitely have to have this habit right up the front, or right away. Make a plan and the decision once. Like, that is it. So, like, let's say you got a goal this week, right? Let your dispatcher know what the goal is, what the home time is, and, like, that's it. Set it and forget it. Allow them to do their thing. Obviously, if they're trusted individuals, because they're built like our dispatchers, then that plan is going to work. And what you're going to be doing there is just, you're not changing plans every hour. You're not changing plans every day. And then all this movement, no progress, things are falling apart. Loads are getting given back. You don't want to be changing your plan every single day. You want to remain consistent. You want to be able to hit. You want to be able to communicate clearly. All right. Keep your truck spotless. It's your office, guys. I cannot mention this enough. We were just talking about this yesterday, actually, with one of the safety personnel, and we actually, keeping a clean truck makes a difference. We had an opportunity to actually go to the way station up in Flagler, up in Jacksonville, and we just kind of roadside saddled to DOT and watching who they're bagging and who they're not. And man, it made a difference, because the impression, you see a clean truck roll up, not just outside but inside as well. You open that door and a bunch of trash is coming out. These guys, they're going to want to look for more, because chances are the probability of that person not having an updated registration, not having an updated medical card, they may have it, but they're probably going to be like, it's not on us. It's not on you. So they're going to bag you. So guys, it is so monumental. First impressions do make a difference. So keep that in mind. And in addition to that, what we do is actually give all of our guys, we call it the permit book. It actually has everything they need in a nice little binder. So all you got to do is give that officer that, because we do understand one thing, that you have more to lose than that guy, and you don't want to be losing. All right. So I got John in the comments. I'm looking to buy new tires when I get home. Do you, Voyager Nation, have a tire shop that we can get a good deal? Yeah, John. So after the show, we'll definitely give you a call. I'll either have Nina call you or Alex or someone. We got a guy we'll connect you to see what kind of deal you can get there. He could even deliver them to the shop and keep them in the back. So we'll talk after the show for sure. Okay. All right, guys. So keep that truck spotless, and here you go. And even guys, I see it on the PSP. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just doing some kind of PSA right now. Maybe like guys that have their windows like tinted. Look, man, like you're giving a guy a reason. You're giving a guy a reason. I've seen people get violations for not having blank copies of logbooks, or the instructions to their ELD system. But one of the violations along with that was the tints. He would have never known about anything else if he didn't stop you for the tints. So guys, that's just giving them a reason. I know the truck looks good. Shit, my personal car is tinted. Uh, but again, like, that's a business. Be cautious with that. You got to know the risk you're taking, right? And then that's you don't want that spiraling out of control. Protect your assets, protect your business, protect your livelihood, protect the cash flow. Just so you know, everybody knows it's your truck. I understand that, but you just got to know the risks that come along with doing something like that. All right. So here we go. Let me get some caffeine. Guys, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. It will help the algorithm get this content in front of the right people. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we drop gems just like this. 863-342-5171 if you're looking for a whole source because you're a first-time owner operator, or you're looking for a better opportunity because your current dispatcher is not getting it done for you. Guys, give us a call. We are located here in Lakeland, Florida, the mecca of trucking. Plenty of perks for you to take advantage of. All right, so how should an owner operator handle fuel strategy right now? All right, so I would say use the carrier's fuel card right away. The savings that you're going to have is astronomical. Now, here are some of the things that happens. They're going to be, I know guys get rewards and free showers and all of that good stuff. But sometimes, like, you got to be able to, you got to take advantage of the fuel stations that are in network with the amount of savings that you can save. The amount of money that you can save, man, you can get all the showers you want rather than getting the points. Free showers, whatever it is that you need. So keep that in mind. You've got to look at the big picture, but definitely use the carrier's fuel card program, provided it's working like ours, where we're pushing 100% of the savings to the owner operator. You're definitely going to see that. Plan your routes. Yeah, for sure. Plan your routes based on fuel prices, not just miles. So even one of the strategies that these guys are using, right? Once you do that, once you plan your mile, and you plan your trip, you can actually zoom in on satellite, look at how big the facility is. Is there going to be enough parking there, or are you just going to fuel there? Is it big enough to turn around? Because sometimes an Ambest may be kind of small. Sometimes, certain 7-Elevens can actually offer you a good savings. So you have all these tools at your disposal. You have to make sure that you're taking of it. Idle less. And again, this goes down to the guys that are buying their first truck. Did you get it with an APU? Was that an option for you? How much money can you save if you did do something like that? So all of these things actually matter. I even got some current owner operators that are actually testing out like battery powered ACs and stuff like that. Because the cost of idling is so expensive, so they're actually testing different things with their trucks in order to save money. What does that tell you? That everything matters. It's crazy. I've actually done orientations where the guy's like, I don't even look at a fuel card. Doesn't matter. Savings, it doesn't matter. I just get fuel wherever I have to get fuel. That's a lot of money on the table. I'm not that rich, but hey, more power to them. Here you go, guys. All right, so you have that IFTA. Pay attention to your IFTA. What I would say, if you're leasing on to someone, especially like Voyager Nation, don't tackle that IFTA just yet. You want to probably do that once you have your own authority. That's for another adventure. But again, each his own. But if you are doing that, pay attention to it. The only thing that I will say is, for those who are starting getting their own plates, they possibly got their own IFTA. And if you did so and you're no longer going to use it, make sure that you close that account. If not, it will come back and bite you in the ass, because they think that it's still open. They think that you're still using it. You're just dodging your filings, and they will suspend your IRP account. So don't get caught up. And if that is you, 863-342-5171. We'll be glad to give you some pointers on how to get out of that situation. All right. So here we go, guys. Like, share, subscribe. It keeps this content going forward. It keeps us inspired, and not just that, it will help the algorithm get this information in front of the right people. And here we go. All right, so where we at? Okay, how important is credit when getting started? All right, it's important. It's definitely going to be important because it's going to operate just like a PSP would, right? It's going to tell you the behavior of an individual. So at the end of the day, whether you're doing a lease to purchase, whether you're purchasing your truck, your credit history is going to actually tell you about your habits financially, right? It's going to explain to the underwriter, whoever's taking care of this, what is your level of financial literacy, and do you take care of your shit, and what is the likelihood of them giving this truck to you and them having to take it back from you. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking at. All right, so it impacts the truck loan rate for sure, right? And not just that, like if you're struggling with these loan rates because you don't have the best looking credit, it's not the end of the world. I get it. Life happens, shit happens. Like not everybody has that perfect credit. It's not about that, but consider other programs. You got like the lease to purchase, and I'm talking third party stuff. I'm not talking carrier offered lease purchases where sign and drive, walk away leases, and now they're charging you fucking $1,200 a week and good luck being successful, right? Don't sign up for shit like that. I'm not talking about that. What I am talking about is like the Low Mountains of the world, you know, where you don't have to have that perfect credit score. You do have to meet some requirements, but again, it's $1,600 a month. Very reasonable for you to be successful. Your credit is not everything. They're going to want to look at the years of experience. They're going to also want to know who your haul source is. What is your business? What is your business plan to be successful, right? So all of that as a package deal, they're actually looking at you. So again, guys, it's not just a credit score that does that. It is they're going to look at it holistically, but credit does matter. Determines insurance approval. A lot of that is that too, right? Insurances are assessing risk. They're mitigating the risk. They're looking at all of that. So it definitely does matter. So it's also going to avoid predatory financing. So you're going to see that, and I think it's going to happen anyway too. Like you're already up against the wall. Like Mike has mentioned, Big Mike, buying the first trailer is probably the hardest. At some point you start to buy so many, like it gets easier and easier, and even zero down, and then that's it, because you buy in bulk and so forth. But even that, like, we actually had a guy not too long ago do a breakdown, right? And you would think, all right, here's a savvy mindseted individual not looking to lose downtime, and kind of some predatory things that are out there. He's like, yo, let me just go rent the truck. Boom. You want $10,000 down to rent this truck and pay per mile and per week. It's just, you're going to be upside down. So they make it so difficult to rent as a one-man army, that even a perfect credit score doesn't make that reasonable. So it's kind of a tricky thing there, guys. It's just trucking. Welcome to trucking. A lot of banks, don't like trucking. They see the word trucking, like, man, it's a problem. That's even like a lot of people who have done, you're trying to get some permits and so forth. Just having the word trucking next to your business name becomes problematic, because it's not, it's kind of frowned upon. So take all that into consideration. It does definitely matter, the credit, and it is an eye opener, man. It is an opportunity to improve yourself. Why is that credit so bad? Look at the things that have to get fixed, and so forth. Again, guys, like, share, subscribe. It keeps this algorithm pushing the content in front of the right people. It keeps us inspired to keep dropping videos like this, watching people win. Melvin, thank you for chiming in. John, make sure that you give us a call after the show. I'll make sure they reach out to you and get you that number. And And here we go, guys. So if you have questions, or if you're looking to switch up your carrier because they're not quite hitting the mark for you, the telephone number is 863-342-5171. Give us a call. We are here to help out. And for those first-time owner operators who have tons of questions but no answers, you got to give us a call. We're here to help guide you through that process. It's what we do best. Watching you win is one of the biggest things that can happen. Again, we've had plenty of people who start here and then go do their own authority. That is the best case scenario. We love to see individuals win. So let's make you part of that success story. All right, guys, 863-342-5171. All right, my people, be safe, drive safe. If you have any additional questions, do not hesitate to make that call. All right, until next time.